So namaste, welcome to this practice all about the hips. And this is week 2 of the same sort of sequence. We're going to build on it and add to it this week. And for this sequence, you might need a couple of blocks. I'm not going to use them today, but we're going to do some lunges. So if you like to bring the floor up to you for your lunges, then a couple of blocks will be helpful. And you might need a blanket just to pop underneath your knees in those lunges as well. If your knees are sensitive, pop that blanket to the side. So for now, just bringing yourself into a comfortable seated position. It can be kneeling, it can be sitting, it can be with the legs straight or the legs crossed, it doesn't matter. As long as you feel that you can give yourself a little bit of grounding to lift away from, rest your hands wherever they're comfortable. Close your eyes if you can, if not, gazing gently downward. And just bring yourself into your yoga space. Allow yourself to arrive on the mat. Spend a moment feeling that connection downward with the sitting bones, your feet or your legs, whatever's on the floor. That's where you're secure. And from that security, that firm, stable base, allow yourself to sit up tall, but without gripping or holding, just a gentle lengthening. Become aware of how you're feeling today, your emotions, your thoughts, as well as your body. Please excuse me, someone's just arriving. So taking a moment to find your way around the body, listening to what the body's saying. Frank, good morning to you. Could you please make sure that your microphone is muted? Thank you. And then we're gently going to move our awareness to the breath that we find in the body now. So without any control, just noticing how you're breathing right now. The rate, the rhythm, the depth of your breath. Where the breath is moving as you breathe. What parts of the body respond to the breath. The sensation of the breath. And then softening your face and gently deepening your breath. Finding the breath fuller into the rib cage, the collarbones, the back of the body. And as you breathe out, gently engaging your abdominal muscles just to help the breath on its way out of the body. Breathing deeply into the sides, the back, the chest. And as you breathe out, that gentle drawing in to help the breath leave the body, to breathe out more fully. Deep, slow breath in. Long, full breath out. Breathing into the whole of the torso. Breathing out completely. You can allow your breath to continue in this rhythm. And now we'll begin our investigation, our sort of initial limbering with the body. So drawing your chin towards your chest. And gently rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder. Chin back towards the chest and the left ear towards the left shoulder. And just keeping going from side to side. You're not trying to get into any particular shape. So don't worry about where you are in your space. Just observe how the body moves, the sensations down the neck, across the shoulders, the chest, the back. And if you want to, you can roll the chin up between the left ear and the right ear so that you make a kind of circle. But if that doesn't suit your neck, you don't have to do that. And maybe in the opposite direction as well. And if you find any bits of the body that feel like they need a little bit of extra work or they feel a little bit stuck, then working really gently there. Just stopping, taking some time. We're not in any rush. When you feel ready, you can bring your head to center. If you need more time in the neck, just take it. And just beginning to roll through the shoulders. We're working from the top down, so you don't need to hurry if you've got a particular area you'd like to work with a bit more. If you're ready for the shoulders, circling the shoulders backwards and forwards, maybe freeing the arms a little bit here. And then maybe doing one shoulder at a time, making a little twist with the torso. Make sure that your neck is involved in the movement so that you don't hold it still. And then maybe working into slightly bigger circles with the arms as well, soften the elbows. And you can move in any way that feels good to you. So it might be you want to take the elbows wide to open the chest, feel that engagement at the back of the body, and bring the backs of the hands together to round through the spine, feel that engagement in the front of the body. You may feel like you need to lean to one side to access underneath the arm and down the side of the body. We're going to do a little bit of this today anyway. And then making sure that you work all the way into the wrists as well, giving the wrists a nice little rotation and wiggle in the fingers, maybe stretching and clenching the hands. And when you're ready, you can maybe lengthen your legs if you want to. I like to do this. This motion has been a real revelation for me in this new training that I'm doing at the moment. So keeping the knees a little bit soft, the heels apart, and just rolling through the ankles. And at the same time, the knees roll apart and together, and the femur bones, the thigh bones, are rolling in the hip joint. And it's really nurturing for the legs, for these hip joints themselves. We're lubricating the joints. We're encouraging the blood flow to them. We can go in both directions. And you'll see that it automatically involves the upper body as well. So there's a gentle swaying backwards and forwards. And if you want to, you can use your arms in this as well. You don't have to. If that makes you feel like a ninny, then you don't need to do it. It's all good. We'll go round a few times backwards and forwards. And then maybe taking your feet a little bit wider apart and just investigating here, a little shifting from side to side. Perhaps twisting, folding if you want to, keeping the chest open, the back long. And you can keep moving in the ankles as well. The legs don't need to be straight. You can work from side to side. Just doing whatever feels good. We're going to get into all of these movements anyway, but this is an opportunity for you to investigate how it feels to move your body right now when it's not had a yoga practice, to feel your way into listening to the responses from the body. We're trying to develop an awareness so that we really know how we respond to the practice that we're doing. And then when you're ready, you can gather yourself all the way in, and we're going to start our formal practice lying down on our backs. Is this the right way around? Yes, let's do this way around. Okay, So coming down to lying down on your back, allowing your feet to fall about as wide as your mat, so wider than your body, and your arms relaxed a little bit away from the body as well. And take a moment as you come to the floor to just give the body a chance to absorb all of that stimulation, all of that information we've given it as we did our investigations. And then we can begin to rock the knees from one side to the other. So it doesn't matter how far into the twist you're going, we're just beginning this practice. So giving yourself a few knee sways from side to side before you develop length into the more full position, or whatever is comfortable for your body to do. The next time your knees come over to the left side, just leaving them there. And it doesn't matter how close to the ground they are, as long as they feel comfortable. If it feels a little bit twisty on your knee, try changing the position of your right foot. And that might help you to access a position that's comfortable for your knee. Reaching your right hand across the body towards your left hand, maybe just reaching slightly beyond your left hand, and then reaching the arm over the head and behind the body again. So we're going to continue circling like this. If you can, keep your head down, but rolling your shoulders off the floor. And if your head feels like it needs to lift, just allow it to do that. We'll do one more in this direction. In fact, we'll do two more in this direction. Why not? So one more in this direction. And then allow your right arm to rest by the right ear, the right shoulder to find the floor or find towards the floor, and stretch the right knee and the right hand away from each other. Maybe encourage the inner part of the right foot and the inner right thigh towards the floor, just a little more. Breathe, making sure that you're not gripping in your tongue or your jaws. Swallow if you are. And then gently relax. Relax your right arm out to the right side. Bring your knees back to center. Do a gentle sway from one side to the other a few times. And then we're going to take the knees over to the right side. Same thing. We're going to roll sweep the left hand over to the right side, reaching beyond the right hand, over the head and rolling back onto the back. Knees stay in their place. It doesn't matter how close to the floor they are. We're just making these nice sweeping circles with our left arm. Two more like this. And this time, as the left arm comes over towards the right arm, reaches up past the head, we're just going to leave it reaching past the left ear over the head. Finding the shoulder towards the floor, and then easing the inner part of the left foot, the inner left thigh downwards as you reach your left fingertips away from you. Find that stretch down the left side of the body, across the pelvis, into the hip flexors, into the hips, the abdomen, the back. Deep breath in. Making sure you're not gripping with your tongue or your jaw. Swallow if you are. And then releasing your left hand back to your left side, drawing your knees back to center. Give them a gentle sway. Fantastic stuff. And hopefully you can feel that lovely openness now across the hips, particularly across the abdomen and the back as well. We're going to bring our feet a little bit closer to each other, so they're about the width of our body, so slightly wider than hip width, and you can bring them as close to your buttocks as feels comfortable. Bend your arms at the elbows and place the elbows close to the body with the palms facing each other. We're going to press the elbows down, the upper arms, the shoulders down, lift the chest ever so slightly, and then press into the heels and lift the buttocks up and gently release down. We're going to keep that work in the upper body. So elbows, upper arms, shoulders pressing down, gently releasing the hips up, using the buttocks for lift, and releasing down. So keep working in this way. When I was first new in yoga, I was taught to do bridge pose with the buttocks relaxed, and it encourages lazy gluteus muscles. So we want to reverse that, particularly if you have a job where you sit a lot or if you spend time sitting in your day, then we want to get activation into those muscles at the back of the body, the upper hamstrings, the buttocks, the quadratus lumborum. So this time when we come up, pressing down with the elbows, lifting the hips, taking the weight into the heels and the shoulders, and just gently circling the hips, so making a hula hoop action. And as you do this, just being aware of how the weight is distributed across the feet and the effort, the contraction into the buttocks. It's one and then the other. There's no gripping, there's no holding. It's a constantly changing effort balanced here. So we're going to go in the opposite direction as well. And just that little bit of activation into the upper back helps us to feel comfortable here. If your knees don't like this, take your feet a little bit further away from you, and that will help. Coming back to center, and then releasing. What we're going to do is actually come up onto our tiptoes and then release the hips down. Nice. Well done, guys. And then from there, just bending the knees into the chest. We're going to have one hand on each knee and make swirly whirly circles. So the knees can go in opposite directions, stirring the femurs, those thigh bones, into their sockets as well. And you might notice that one is different from the other. You can go in both directions. We often have a different range of motion on the left side from the right side. And so working like this allows the legs to do what they can without having to follow the stronger or the less open side. Very good. And we get a little massage on the back as well. So lovely. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring the knees towards each other a little bit and lengthen the legs. So the legs don't need to be straight, and we're certainly not ever going to lock out the back of our knees. So we can bend the knees as much as you need to bring your legs to that sort of upright position. And then taking the feet as wide apart as feels comfortable for you. And as we do this, we're going to rest the hands onto the inner thighs. So you don't need to be aiming towards having the feet on the floor. That's not the point here. The point is to feel the sensation of the adductor muscles, the muscles down the inner thighs. We're holding here and we're just going to rock from side to side, a little bit like a baby rocking on its back. So if you feel that you've taken your feet too wide apart, you can bring them a little closer together. If you feel that as you work here, you can get them a little bit further apart, then you can do that. Just pay attention to what your body is saying and respond to the messages it's sending you. Fantastic. When you're ready, you can come to center. And if you prefer to keep rocking, you can keep rocking, that's fine. What we're going to do is a little PNF stretching. So we're going to imagine we're trying to close the feet together at the same time as we press down into the inner thighs. So pressing the hands down, but pressing the knees or the legs up towards each other, just holding as you breathe in and out, and then gently releasing. So relaxing that effort. We'll do it 2 more times. Pressing down with the arms, pressing the thighs towards each other at the same time. So you're resisting that stretch, an isometric contraction, and relax. 1 more time, pressing down into the inner thighs, pressing up with the feet together or the legs towards each other, and relax. And as you relax, you might find that your legs have drifted slightly further apart. And that is what PNF stretching does, but we're not going to hold for long. We're going to take the hands to the outside of the thighs and gently help the legs together. Bend the knees into the chest. And with the hands underneath the knees, again, just making nice rotation movements. You might want to just rock from side to side, doing whatever feels good for those inner thighs. Brilliant stuff. And then we're going to begin our rocking up to sitting, but we're going backwards and forwards first. So rocking from shoulder blades to sitting bones, massaging through the length of the spine, and allowing yourself to really give that connection to the floor, that self-massage. If you can, catching yourself on your sitting bones when you come up, and then releasing down. Very good. We all look like weebles. So this time we're going to try extending the right leg and putting the left foot down, reaching the hands towards the right foot. And then doing the other side, extending the left leg, putting the right foot down, reaching the hands towards the foot. So we're just going side to side, pressing down into that foot, reaching the hands. Pressing down and reaching. That's it. If you can, press down and lift the hips ever so slightly. I can do this on my right side, but not my left, or at least my left isn't as good. There we go. We'll do one more to each side, and then we're going to do both feet down, reaching forward. So the feet a little bit wider, just trying to catch yourself on your feet. Pressing down and reaching forward. And next time, just catch yourself in that squat and coming to that upright position. And if you can't, that's okay. It takes a little bit of practice. And here, what we're going to do is just gently rock ourselves from side to side. So if you need to hold onto the floor, if you need to lean forward a little bit, or come up onto your toes, or take your feet a bit wider, just finding a position that you can enjoy. Enjoy is maybe the wrong word, as we gently investigate a little bit side to side. So we're always negotiating for space. We're trying to access a little bit more space, find a little bit more room to work with, nurture those joints. And then we're gently going to sit down, folding the right leg in front of the left. So I'm going to do this part facing you, but you will want to be doing it at the short end of your mat, the top of your mat. Okay? So as we come into this upright position, taking that moment to allow the body to absorb all that information. So sitting, if you can, closing the eyes. Allowing yourself to find that grounding to then lengthen through the back of the body. Without gripping or holding, just a soft engagement. These moments of stillness allow our body to absorb that effort to assimilate the information we're giving. We're giving it, particularly our nervous system, which responds to yoga so incredibly well. And when you open your eyes, placing the hands onto the knees, and we've got the right leg folded in front of the left, so we're going to rotate the upper body over the left leg first. Lovely job. So we're just making this sort of stirring action. We can press down into the hands a little bit if it helps. And you might want to allow your body to respond to the movement by moving your head as well, opening your chest as you come back, looking up, tucking your chin a little bit in as you fold forward over the legs. Doesn't matter how big your circle is or what shape you're making, it's about how it feels to you. We'll do one more in this direction. And then as you come up, this time we're going to extend the right leg. And we're going to do angel wing figure of eights. So taking the right hand down to the right side of the body. Sweep the back of the left hand across you towards your right foot, reaching as you do, finding that space down the left side of the body, reaching up, looking up, twisting through the upper body, placing the left hand down, and then sweeping the back of the right hand across to the left side, making a big sweeping circle around and back to center. We're going to sweep the back of the left hand towards the right foot, reaching up. Nice big circle, twisting through the upper body, and then sweeping the right hand over to the left side, twisting up. Very good. We'll do one more like this, and then if you want to, you can free the hips from the floor. So this one first. And then this time, as you make these sort of figure of 8 motions, when your left hand comes down, if you want to, you can press into your left hand, come up onto the left shin, the left foot, reach the hips up into a baby wild thing, and then reach the hips back down to the floor. Same thing again. Nice figure of 8s. Find that support behind the body as you lift the hips up in the buttocks by pressing down with the left hand, down with the left shin. One more. I love these. They're so nice to feel the body go one way and then the other. And then coming back to sitting, we're going to fold in the right leg. And I'm going to do this facing now the short end of the mat. And we're going to take the left hand behind us, turn to the left and come into a sort of squatting hands and feet position. Very good. Fantastic stuff, guys. So here again, you can gently move from side to side if you want to. Here, have your toes pointing out and your heels pointing in. Reach your hands away from you so that we can come into downward dog. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to press through the hands, keep the hips long behind us, and then just gently uncurl the legs, pivoting on the toes so the heels come straight back behind the feet. And then when you're up there, first down dog of the day, do anything you need to. Paddle through your feet. Maybe turn your head gently from side to side. Make sure that you're pressing into the base of the fingers, the heels of the hands, so that the upper body is present in this practice. Very good. And then from here, we're going to walk the hands just a little bit further away from us and drop the knees to the floor. So we come into this sort of hands and knees position. And we're going to begin with just a gentle cat-cow. So it doesn't matter, my knees and hands are a bit further apart than a normal cat-cow position, but that doesn't matter at all. For our cat, we're gently going to imagine we're dragging our hands, for our cow, we're gently going to imagine we're dragging our hands back towards us as we lift the chest and the tailbone. And then for the cat position, press the hand into the floor and away from you, tuck the chin towards the chest, rounding through the upper back. So it's very active in the shoulders and the arms, pulling the hands back towards you to lift the chest and pressing the mat away from you to round through the back. One more. And from here, we're going to walk the hands back towards us. We're going to keep the left hand on the floor, twist to the right. Yes? No. Left hand on the floor. Keep the right hand on the floor. Twist to the left. So you end up with your left foot in front. I'm sorry, I confused myself because I've been trying to do it with the opposite way round. And when you come back to sitting, doesn't matter how you get there, with the left leg in front, simply sit tall, close the eyes, give your body a chance to absorb again that information, just for a few breaths. Swallow, relax your tongue, your jaw, your forehead. So much of our work is dynamic in this class that it's nice to find these pockets of stillness and also rest. When you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, take the hands to the tops of the knees, and we'll begin our stirring, upper body stirring circles over the right leg, then the left leg. Very good. Fantastic stuff. Allow your whole body to go with it. So allow the chin to lift as the chest opens. Allow the head to fold forward a little as the chest comes forward. And it doesn't matter how low you get over your legs. It doesn't matter what your circle looks like. As long as it's comfortable for your hips, for your knees, and it feels good in your body. That's what we're aiming for. So the next time you come all the way up, we're going to extend the left leg away. We're going to rest the left hand down to the left side, draw the back of the right hand all the way over towards the left leg, reaching up, making a big circle, twisting through the chest, rest the right hand down, and then reach the left hand over the right side of the body in a nice sweeping circle, and coming back to center. We'll do 2 more with the hips on the ground. Lifting up, twisting, opening, and figure of 8. The other arm does its circle. First with the right hand, reaching up, twisting, opening, a really nice flowing motion. And then if you want to, you can release the right hip away from the floor. As you reach up with the right hand, take the right hand down, press into the right hand, into the right shin, opening the hip and reaching the left arm over and reaching the hips down, taking the right hand to the left again. Pressing into that bottom hand, finding that support underneath the back of the right side of the body. Last one. Very nice, guys. You can see some beautiful action on the screen. And then here, bending your left knee in, and we're going to turn to the right. So take your right hand down behind you and twisting as you unfold into your squat. And your dynamic squat here. So just shifting yourself, making sure that your toes are pointed outwards, reaching the hands forward, press back with the hands, keep the hips back as you unfold into downward dog, pivoting on the toes so that the heels are straight. And then adjust. I'm going to bring my feet a little bit closer together because my squat needs to have my feet really wide to feel good. Lengthening through one leg and then the other, or here, dropping the heels to one side and bending and straightening the legs. And then pivoting up onto your toes in downward dog, heels to the other side, bend and straighten. Keep active in the base of the fingers, the heels of the hands. Coming back into your standard down dog, you're going to drop the knees down to the floor, reach the hands a little bit further in front of us, and we're going to do our waving vinyasa, which is sort of a modification of down dog to up dog, but from the knees. Okay, so watching if you haven't done one of these before, the toes are tucked under and we're going to push off the toes, round through the upper back, bring the hips forward towards the shoulders and then towards the hands rather. And then as the shoulders come through, we're going to imagine we're dragging the hands back, elbows soft to open the chest, looking up. Elbows are really soft. We're going to press back up to hands and knees and then tucking the chin towards the chest, bring the hips down towards the heels. Okay, we'll do a few of these. So pressing off the toes, bringing the shoulders forwards. When the shoulders meet the hands, dragging the hands back, keeping the elbows soft, opening the chest, and then pressing back up to hands and knees, and folding back into extended child's pose. This time as we come forward, pressing off the toes, we'll come into this up dog variation, knees are down, keep your buttocks working, and just gently look from one side to the other. So you get a little massage of the shoulder blades on the back of the body. You can't help but use your tummy muscles. And we'll come to center and we're all going to meet up, lying down on our tummies. Make a pillow out of your hands, relax your toes to the floor, tops of the feet to the floor, and take just a couple of deep breaths. Now here, I would like to show you what we're going to do next. So if you bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and come into Sphinx pose, it's the perfect pose for watching. If it's a little bit too high, take your elbows a little bit further in front of you so you can really nestle the abdomen into the mat and keep your chest open, your head lifted for looking at the screen. So I will demonstrate first. In this practice, we're going to keep our heads down and our arms nice and relaxed. We're going to bring the feet a little bit closer together, pressing down with the left foot, lengthening the right foot away and lifting just a little off the floor, and then down. We do the same thing on the other side. Do a couple of B's from side to side, and then we're going to press down with the left foot, lift the right, and then bend the knee just a touch to lift the heel a bit higher than the buttock, than the knee rather, and then that on either side. So that's our variation for this round, okay? So bring yourself back into lying flat on your tummy, rest your forehead onto the back of your hands, and think just for a moment of keeping the upper body pressed down, the arms pressed down, the head pressed down, just gently. Bring your feet towards each other, press your left foot down into the floor, left leg down, lengthen the right leg away, lifting up a little and then down. Press the right foot down into the floor, lengthen the left leg away and up a little and down. Doing 2 more to each side. Press the left foot down, lengthen the right leg up and down. Press the right foot down, lengthen the left leg away and up and release. Press down with the left foot, lengthen the right leg away and up and release. Press the right foot down, lengthen the left leg away and up and release. And then let your toes fall together, your heels fall apart, and just give your hips a little wiggle from either side. And be aware of what's working, what's been working in the body. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, come up onto our hands and knees, tuck the toes, walk your hands towards you. And I've got to really concentrate now. We're going to leave the right, no, I don't know. Yes, the left hand on the ground, twist to the right. So we end up with the right foot in front of the left. I did it. It's a really complicated thing to explain. So this time I'm going to do this facing in the right direction, same as you guys. So we're going to begin by just coming back to sitting, taking a moment to allow the spine to organize itself in this upright position. Close the eyes, relax the face, relax the jaw by swallowing and taking a deep breath. When you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, extend your right leg away from you, and we'll begin with 3 of our figure of 8 sweeping circles, and you can come into your baby wild thing on each one if you like. So right hand to the side of the right side of the body, sweep the left hand towards the right leg and up, opening the chest as you twist, press the left hand into the floor, lift the hips, feel the engagement underneath the left side of the body as you sweep the right hand over and down. 2 more like this. Lovely, beautiful, flowing movements. Feel it open the sides of the body. You're creating length and engagement. Last one. And here in our wild thing, if you want to hold, you can hold for a few extra breaths. So making sure that you feel really stable with the arm underneath the shoulder and pressing down into the left lower leg, the calf, the shin, the top of the foot. And you can open the right arm a little bit further, maybe coming backwards and forwards, opening the chest to the ceiling. And then we're going to release the hips down, fold the right leg in. Keep the left hand behind you, turn to the left and come into your deep squat. From your deep squat, reach your hands forward, press back with the heels, back with the buttocks to unpeel into downward facing dog. Bring your feet a little bit closer together and take one waving vinyasa. So you can do this on your knees, sorry, 2 waving vinyasas. You can do this on your knees, or you can do this with the knees off the floor if you prefer, which is pressing off the feet, rounding through the upper back, pulling the hands back towards you, opening the chest, pressing up through plank position and into downward facing dog. So only if that feels good to you, we'll do one more like that, or with the knees down, whichever of these is good. In your up dog, keep your elbows soft, gently looking from one side to the other, or swaying backwards and forwards on your knees or your feet, and then meeting up by lying down, resting your hands on the back, your head on the back of the hands, toes towards each other, heels apart for a deep breath in. And a soft, maybe exhale through the mouth, breath out. Okay, so this time we're going to do a little lengthen the leg, bend the knee, and then we're going to reach the foot across the body to the opposite side. It's not going to go anywhere, it's just a reach and return. Okay, so resting the head on the back of the hands, thighs towards each other, press the left foot down, lengthen the right leg away and up. Soften the right knee to lift the heel a little bit higher, and then leading with the foot, let the right foot lead you across to the left side of the body. So you lift the right hip, you feel a gentle twist across the body, and return to center. Lengthen the right leg down towards the mat. Press the right foot down, lengthen the left leg away up, softly bend the knee, lifting the heel and the toe, reach the toe of the left foot across the right side of the body. Just for a gentle twist, return to center and release. We'll do a few more to each side. Press the left foot down, lift the right leg, softly bend the knee, reach the right foot over to the left side of the body, back to center and release. Press down with the right foot, lift the left leg, soften the knee, reach the left foot over to the right side of the body, back to center and release. One more to each side. So lifting the right leg, soft knee, reach the right foot over to the left and back to center. Lift the left leg, soft knee, reach the left foot over to the right side of the body and back to center and release. Here in the center, just take a moment to keep the body a little bit still. Take a deep breath in, soften the jaw, the forehead, a deep breath out. Then wiggle your hips from side to side, like you were shaking your tail. Bring your hands underneath your body. Come back to hands and knees. We're going to walk our hands all the way back towards us. We're going to keep the right hand down on the floor, twist to the left, so that you end up, twist to the right maybe. No, twist to the left. You end up with the left foot in front. Gosh, that's going to take me a little while to get used to. You guys too, I'm sure. Okay, so when you come in upright sitting again, taking that moment to sit with the eyes closed or gazing gently down in stillness, or not quite stillness, but allowing the body to find its way upright. So if you need to make a little shift or a wiggle, that's okay. Taking a deep breath in, relaxing the face, swallowing, relaxing the tongue and the jaw, exhaling through the mouth if you need to. And then we're ready to work to the other side. So this time extending the left leg away from you, right foot's folded in, left hand comes down to the left side of the body. You're going to sweep the right hand towards the left foot and up, twisting through the upper body, pressing down into the right hand, down into the right lower leg, sweeping the left hand around and back. Let's do 2 more like that. Lovely figure of 8s. Feeling the whole of the back of the body engage as you lift. And if you want to hold your wild thing this time, your baby wild thing, you can. Pressing down into the right shin and foot and hand. And if you want to, you can open your chest by moving your left hand back and forwards. Just a little extra spiral, extra rotation. And releasing all the way down. You're going to fold the left leg in. Keep turning towards the right. Take the right hand down behind you and twist into your little squat. This transition is getting a bit easier, I'm sure, now we're more familiar with it. We're going to reach the hands forward and then unpeel ourselves into downward facing dog, pivoting on the toes so the heels end up moving straight backwards. If you want to take some time in your down dog, instead of doing a waving vinyasa, you can absolutely do a little paddle, a little shift, a little soft knee sway, soft knee shimmy with the hips. And if you want to do a waving vinyasa, you can do it from your knees or from your feet, pressing off the toes or the knees, rounding through the upper back, bringing the chest forward, remembering to drag the hands backwards as the chest opens, keeping the elbows soft, and then pressing up through plank pose or hands and knees back into your down dog or extended child's pose. 2 more like that, pressing off the feet, rounding forward, opening the chest, soft knees, soft elbows, pressing back up again. And this time we'll meet up on our bellies. So if you've been playing with down dog, joining us on the belly. And just taking a moment to fold yourself to the floor. Rest with the forehead on the back of the hands. Maybe take the toes towards each other, heels apart. Just 1 deep breath in, 1 deep breath out. And then bring yourself into a position where you can easily observe again. So a lovely Sphinx pose or other pose of your choice. If you want to take a child's pose at this point, or take the hands and the knees, that's great too. So I'll just show you what we're doing next. So we're adding on to this sequence we've got on the floor. We're going to press down with the left foot, lift the right leg, soften the knee, reach the right leg over to the left side of the body at the same time as we lengthen the left arm, roll onto the back of the body. The arms come wide. We're going to bend both knees, lift the hips, and hula hoop our hips 2 times in each direction, she says. And then we're going to lengthen the left arm, the left leg, press off the right foot to roll back into the center, and do the same thing to the other side. Press down with the right foot, lift the left, bend the knee, lengthen over to the right, extending the right arm out of the way so we can easily move. Bend both knees, lift the hips, circle 2 times, doesn't matter how high in your bridge you are, in each direction. Lengthen the right arm, the right leg, press off the floor with the left leg to roll gently back onto the tummy. We're going to do 3 to each side. Okay? Fantastic stuff. Okay, so join me with your head resting on the back of your hands, remembering to keep the arms really relaxed into the floor while we do the lifting of the legs, and the head relaxed down too. Thighs towards each other, press the left foot down, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, reach the right foot over to the left side, lengthen the left arm so it's out of the way, roll onto your back, arms are wide, knees are bent, lift the hips and circle or hula hoop the hips 2 times in one direction, 2 times in the other. Let the hips come down, lengthen the left arm, the left leg, press off the right foot to roll back onto your belly, nice and gently, and come back to resting for a deep breath in, deep breath out. Press the right foot down, lift the left leg, softly bend the knee, reach the left foot over to the right side, lengthening the right arm out of the way as you roll onto your back, bend both knees, arms are wide. Press into the heels to lift the hips and hula hoop the hips 2 times in one direction, 2 times in the other. Release the hips down, lengthen the right arm and the right leg, press off the left foot, rolling onto your belly, taking a rest on the belly for a deep breath in, deep breath out. Press the left leg down, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, reach the left arm up as you reach the right foot over to the left side, rolling onto your back, arms wide, knees bent, hula hooping your hips. Just a couple of times in each direction. Hips hips down, lengthen the left arm and leg, press off the right foot to roll onto your belly. Take a breath in and a breath out. Press down with the right leg, lift the left leg, bend the knee, reach the foot across, lengthen the right arm out of the way as you roll onto your back. Bend both knees, arms wide, lift the hips, circle the hips a couple of times in each direction. Let the hips come down, reach the right arm and right leg away from you, press off the left foot to come into lying on your tummy again. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more time to each side. Press the left foot down, lift the right leg, bend the knee, reach the right foot over to the left, reach the left arm out of the way as you roll. This time, if you want to lift the hips and hold, you can, but if you want to lift the hips and wiggle, you can do that as well. I find both very useful. So hips down, reaching the left arm and leg out of the way, press off the right foot to roll back onto your tummy. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Press down with the right foot, lift the left leg, bend the knee, roll to the right, move the right arm out of the way, roll onto your back, bend both knees, coming into bridge pose, just an active bridge or a little hula hooping bridge. My hips are all over the place now. And then reach the right arm and right leg out of the way. Press off the left foot. Come back to lying on your tummy. And just take a moment here. Deep breath. If you feel the need, you can wiggle the hips from side to side. Sigh out through your mouth if you need to. Then we're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Come back into hands and knees. And we're going to take the knees wide to begin with and make some circling motions with the hips. So in hands and knees, circling motions with the hips in one direction and then in the other, just to ease out any tension that we might have from that last practice. Then we're going to bring the knees together or towards each other is fine. And we're going to start with the right leg, making big rainbows with the right leg. So we're going to press the left foot down, extend the right leg and look up. And then keeping the right foot lifted and the chest lifted, elbows a little soft, not locked. We're going to reach the right leg all the way over towards the right hand, touch down briefly with the right toes, and then reach up and over towards the left. Touching down behind you, just a little toe tap, keeping the chest open all of the time. Up and over. Keep your foot as high as you can as you go between the two. Lovely job. Now, if it's really hard to do this, this feels a little bit too challenging, you can soften your knee and you can make it the knee that travels rather than the foot. Very good. And if that is too much, keep your foot on the floor. We've done these before. As you just sweep the foot across the floor, one way and then the other. Very good. So the next time your foot is behind you, I realize I'm going to have my back to you, but we're going to swing our left knee around, press into the left hand, the left knee, the left shin, and open the right arm up to the ceiling, and just do some nice big circles with that right hand. So really feel you're engaging the space underneath the body to lift away from the floor. A couple of circles in each direction with the arm. Let your head follow the movement. And then we're going to come back to hands and knees. Take the knees really wide and make a few of those hip circles. Very good. In each direction. Come back to center, bring the knees towards each other again. This time we're doing it with the left foot. So we're going to look forward, lift the left leg, lift the chest, and then reach the left foot as high up as you can, or the knee, over towards the left hand. Keep the chest open, lift up as high as you can, rainbows behind the body on the right side. So up and over. Very good. Try not to collapse in the shoulders or the arms. Great stuff, guys. And remember that if it just feels like a little bit too much to do it with a straight leg, do it with a bent leg. Let your knee be the thing that follows. You get the same articulation. Sorry, knee be the thing that leads. And if that just feels like too much for the hips, leave your foot on the floor. Very good. And you can try all three if you like. But the next time your left foot is behind you on the right side, we're going to just rotate on the knee, press down into the left hand, reach the right arm up. You want to feel space underneath the body here by pressing down into the top of the right foot and the right arm, and make big circles with the left arm in both directions. Beautiful stuff. Some beautiful circles. And we're going to come out of this pivoting on the knee, coming back to hands and knees. Lovely job. We're going to pad our hands back towards us. And let's see, we're going to leave our right hand, no, we're going to leave our left hand down, turn to the left, and end up back in sitting with the right foot in front of the left. And as we come to sitting upright, just taking a moment, let the spine organize itself, let the body absorb the information, the stimulus, the energy. Soften the features of your face, your mouth, your jaw, swallowing if you need to relax your tongue. Aces. Well done, guys. So on this round, we're going to do just a little bit of stirring to begin with. So it doesn't matter which direction you stir in, you can stir in both directions. And that's just to ease out any tension from the back of the body. And then when you're ready, we're going to turn to the left. So taking the left hand behind us, right hand, coming into our little gentle squat, reaching the hands forwards, coming up into downward facing dog, pivoting on the feet, feeling our bodies unwind into downward dog. Make any movements you need in down dog to feel comfortable, and then 2 waving vinyasas. So here, soft knees or on the knees, pressing off the feet, coming through a rounded back to an open chest, soft in the elbows, pressing back up. One more, and we're going to finish on the hands and knees, she says. So coming back to downward dog. And then we're dropping the knees down. And this time, we're going to keep the feet together, reach the right leg up and back, lifting through the right leg, lifting through the chest. We're going to try and sweep that foot all the way forward and then inch it onto our mat. So we come into a little lunge. Fantastic. I realize I've done the wrong leg. I'm going to do this leg. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so here we're going to play with the lunge. So we're going to move backwards and forwards. The hands can be on blocks here if you need them, or they can be, I quite like to come up onto my fingertips or on my fists if I've been doing a lot of action with the hands flat on the floor. So you can play with the heel or the toes of the right foot on the floor. Backwards and forwards. And once backwards and forwards feels good, you can hula hoop here. So you can make circles around your knee. And if you want that padding under your knee, now is the time. Very good. And we can go in both directions, of course. So this is the transition. If you want to have a little bit of a watch, we're going to leave both hands on the floor with our right foot on the floor and lengthen the left leg and the right leg. We're going to pivot on the left leg so that the foot is parallel to the short end of our mat and the right leg as well. And then we're going to bend just the left knee and leaving our hands towards the floor or up on blocks. We're just going to pulse up and down into that left knee. It's called a surfer squat. Okay, lovely job. And then from here, we're going to pivot back into our lunge and then back to hands and knees. Very good. Okay, so we're going to try that one more time with this right side, okay? So we're going to take the right leg up, opening the chest, sweep it all the way forward towards the left hand, either on the floor or in the air. Scissor the foot in, making a little bit of space so the foot's outside the right hand, and then press backwards and forwards through the toes of the left foot. So we're using the left foot to press backwards and forwards, like a little bit of opening on the hamstrings, the back of the right leg there. And then when you're ready, we're going to leave the hands where they are, lengthen the left leg, pivot on those toes, pivot the right toes in as well. So the toes are pointing basically forward. They can be slightly out if you like. Leave your hands towards the right side, relax your head if you can, and just pulse up and down with the left knee to whatever feels good for you, whatever feels like this beautiful openness, this stretch underneath the body. Good job. Then we're going to rotate back to the front, come into our lunge, and we can come back into hands and knees. We're going to come back into our little squat. And I have to really concentrate here, but I think we leave the right hand down and twist to the left, so we end up with the left knee in front. Smashing stuff. So when you come back to sitting, just taking a moment. Relax your face, relax your jaw, your tongue. When you feel that you've absorbed and assimilated that energy, that vibration, that information, you can begin stirring your upper body. Just to release any tension. Going in both directions. The next time you come over your right leg, turn to the right with the right hand behind you, coming into your little squat. Fantastic stuff. These transitions are getting much easier. Let's reach the hands forward and peel ourselves up, pressing into the hands, just rotating on the balls of the feet to take the heels back into that parallel position, stepping the feet a bit closer together if that works for you. 2 waving vinyasas from here. So with the knees on the floor or not, pressing off the feet or the knees, rounding through the upper back, drawing the hands back to open the chest, keep the elbows nice and soft, press up through hands and knees or plank into downward facing dog. One more, press off the feet, rolling forward, opening the chest, pressing up to plank and back to downward dog. Let's come into our hands and knees position. Knees are together. We're going to lengthen the left leg away and up. Sweep the left leg forward towards the left hand on the floor if you need to. And once it's forward, just scissoring that foot onto the mat, maybe moving your left hand just a little closer to your right. Backwards and forwards in our lunges. Using some blocks underneath the hands if you need to, and padding underneath your right knee if you need to. So use the feet. So press away from the right foot as you come forward. Press away from the left foot as you come back. And you can also lift and lower. You can keep the left toes down or the left heel down. You get a different kind of sensation underneath the back of the leg. When you feel open there, just making some circling motions with the hips. And it doesn't really matter what this looks like. It's just what it feels like that's important. Let's go in both directions. I'm going to do a short video on this for over the holidays. Okay, so we're going back to our surfer squat. So we're going to keep our hands down and lengthen through the right leg and pivot on the toes. So the toes point towards the long end of the mat, and then just bending the right knee, leaving the hands wherever they were towards the left foot, relaxing the head, pulsing up and down, just feeling that stretch along the inner left leg. And we're going to pivot back into our lunge and go backwards and forwards. Lovely stuff. See if you can find a little way to move the head as well, the chest, as you move backwards and forwards. Or you may prefer the circling. If you do, that's okay too. Then when you're ready, leaving the hands down, lengthening through the right leg, lengthening both legs so that the toes are pointing towards the long end of the mat. Leave your hands where they are on the left side, bending and lengthening the right leg. Surfer squats. Lovely job. And then twisting back into your lunge. We're going to come back into hands and knees. And we're going to bring our hands back towards us, coming into our squat. Leave the left hand down, twist to the right. So you end up sitting with the right leg in front. Take a moment here. Find your stillness. Absorb that information. Lovely job. So there is a standing part of this series, but we just don't have time to do it today. So I'm going to put that on a separate video for you guys. And it's quite intense, this practice, if you haven't worked like this before. So take time to come back to week 1 and week 2 of these practices and practice them a few times so that you get used to those transitions and also that developing of strength dynamically. We're developing mobility and flexibility and strength all at the same time. So we're going to begin to wind ourselves down now. And we're going to do this by coming down onto our backs again. So if you need to take a moment to do anything that you feel like you haven't done yet, so if you wanted to do a seated forward bend or something like that, take your time and do that practice. But otherwise, bringing yourself back onto your back and just making some nice stirring circles with your knees. Maybe easing the knees in and out, just making that massage across the low back. The knee circles can be with the knees together or apart, one at a time, both at the same time. And then releasing the feet to the floor one at a time. And we're going to lengthen also the legs away from us. So we're going to take a moment here just to wave the feet so that we feel the thigh bones moving in their sockets in a slightly different way. Waving the feet from side to side. And then we're going to bend the knees again and take the right foot and cross it over the left knee. So we could do pigeon pose as a nice counter to the work that we've done, but we're going to do the supine pigeon instead today. So keeping the foot free of the leg. So if your foot is sickled by your left thigh, then that's not so useful. So keeping your ankle on your thigh if possible and your foot free. We're going to draw the left knee towards us and then allow that knee, that left knee, to swing from side to side and the right leg just to stay where it is in that shape and follow. I know you've heard me say it before, but the gluteus muscles are like fans. So by doing this, we access across the whole body of the muscle, not just one plane of it. And then making circles with that left knee. And if you need to do this in a more static way, or if you want your hands for support, you can reach your hands around the back of your left thigh. And we may do that now anyway, by holding the left thigh towards us, just increasing that sense of stretch. You can relax the left foot now. And maybe moving your left thigh a little bit to the left as much as you feel you need to get a little sensation of easing of tension, of lengthening the space where we've made big effort behind the body. Just a touch, not too much. And then releasing the left foot down to the floor, keeping the right leg where it is. You can reach the arms wide and then gently allow the left knee to come down to the left side, the right leg follows. If you need something underneath your foot or your leg, maybe one of those blocks or your rolled blanket. And we're again just going to lengthen, let ourselves feel this position first. And then if you want to, you can lengthen your right arm up over past your ear. So you get that increasing sense of openness, of space. If it doesn't feel good to stay here, you can actually come in and out of this. Just a gentle in and out, but maybe with the arms to the sides. One more deep breath if you can. And then bringing the knees upright, uncrossing the legs. And with the knees upright, just swaying gently the knees from side to side, just a touch, not a full twist. Very good. Then we're going to take the left leg, cross it over the right thigh. For some people, this might be enough actually just to stay here. If you would like a little bit more, you can draw your right knee towards you and then just swaying from side to side. Keeping both feet active at this point, so the legs remain really engaged in the process. When side to side has begun to feel really comfortable, then making circles with the right knee, just letting the left leg follow. And in both directions. This is quite the workout for your abdominal muscles as well. So if it feels like you need to hold on to your thigh, you can with your right hands, with your right thigh with your hands rather. How many right hands do you have? And then easing that thigh towards you, holding around the back of the thigh if you'd like to. And just maybe taking your right thigh a little bit further to the right. So this is maybe just a touch more intense of a stretch because the right leg is a little bit more towards you. You can relax the right foot. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. See if you have a sense of that fan shape of the buttocks. So there are 4 muscles in fact there, but the gluteus maximus is the one we tend to feel the most. And then release the right foot down and allowing the right knee to come down on the right side, the left leg to follow. We come into a lovely spinal twist. And for anyone who doesn't want to hold it, you can come in and out. If you're happy to hold, maybe you want to just increase that feeling of space by lengthening the left arm up towards the left ear. Just taking a few deep breaths. When you're ready, you can bring the arms back to the sides, bring the knees back to center, uncross the legs. Maybe just gently sway the knees a little bit from side to side. Then coming back to stillness, when you're ready, reaching the left arm over the right arm and letting the fingers fall towards the floor, the arms be heavy across the chest. And this might be enough. Maybe a little rocking from side to side is quite nice. If you want to, you can bring your arms into Garudasana, eagle arms. And you can peel your head and chest off the floor and make circles with your upper body. So what we're trying to do here is not an abdominal crunch, but to massage that space between the shoulder blades at the upper back. So focusing on that sensation, you will have no choice but to engage your abdominal muscles. Just do it gently. Back to center, relaxing the arms. You've got the left on top of the right, taking the arms apart. Take a moment here just to gently roll the head from one side to the other. Then crossing the right arm over the left arm, let the hands really drape towards the floor, the arms be heavy across the body. Maybe that will be enough for you. If it feels enough of a sensation, you can get that sort of rocking motion between the shoulder blades. Or if you want to, bringing yourself into eagle arms, drawing the head and the shoulders off the floor, and massaging, circling the upper body towards the floor and away. Remembering not to grip, but a gentle engagement, reversing the motion. And then relaxing down, relaxing the arms, opening them wide, softening the jaw and just rolling the head from one side to the other. And now it's time for relaxation proper. So if you haven't already, you might want to roll to one side and come up to get your jumpers or blankets or anything else. If you've got a bolster or a cushion that you can put underneath the backs of the legs, you might find this quite restful for the hips, or you might prefer to do Vipariti Karini or Karani, the legs up the wall pose. So if you've got a patch of wall close by and you enjoy that, or if you miss out doing inversions with this class, then you might like to do a little legs up the wall for relaxation. The important thing is to be comfortable and warm, particularly if it's winter where you are, which it is here at the moment. So when you're ready, just finding your way into the Shavasana or relaxation pose of your choice. I may even take a second blanket as I've got one today. And spend a moment just allowing your body to find its place on the floor or in the position that it's in. And I'm going to teach this as if you were all in Shavasana. So if you're taking another pose, just make sure that you don't follow the instructions if they don't apply to you. So let's take a moment to screw all the muscles of the face in towards the nose, make a tight lemon sucking face. Then open the eyes, open the mouth, stick out the tongue and exhale. Close the eyes. Let's do that one more time. Screw all the muscles of the face in towards the nose. Then eyes open, mouth open, tongue out, and exhale. Relax the face, closing the eyes. Gently rock the nose from one side to the other. So a gentle twist of the head. If you want to do more than that, you can. But it's just a gentle shimmy to release the back of the neck. When you're ready, bringing your head to center, making any adjustments you need, final adjustments to your posture. Maybe if you're in Shavasana with the palms turned upwards and the arms relaxed away from the body. The feet nice and wide apart. If you're using support under the knees, make sure your heels are on the floor or touching something. And then bring your body to stillness. Feel the weight of the body. The connection of that weight down, softening and surrendering into the floor. Beginning that sensation of letting go as you relax. Soften the features of the forehead, the eyes, tongue, the jaw. Swallow to release the tongue if you need to. Feel the touch of air on your face. The sensation of space over you and around you. Take one more deep, conscious breath. Exhale with a sigh. And allow your body to drift a little deeper into relaxation with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet, beginning to move your fingers, your toes, your wrists, your ankles. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and stretch, maybe yawning, maybe reaching through the arms, the sides, the legs. Oh, just moving anything that feels good in that stretch. When you're ready, you can bend your knees into your chest, look on towards you, make any movements that feel good. Maybe a little rocking from side to side or circling with the knees, as if we haven't done enough of that today. And then in your own time, just rolling to one side, spending a moment and in your own time coming into any comfortable seated position. Bring the palms together and rub them vigorously, getting a lot of heat into the hands, movement into the arms, the shoulders, pressing them firmly, rubbing them fast, and then placing the warm palms over the eyes. So you feel that warmth soften, release the area around the eyes. Blinking into your palms a few times. When you're ready, releasing your hands as you open your eyes. Before we offer each other namaste, at this time of the year, it's just before Christmas, if you're watching the video, we sometimes are striving to do a little bit too much. So just as a little reminder, I want you to say this to yourself. I do enough. Just repeating, I do enough. I have enough. I have enough. I am enough. I am enough. And you are, gorgeous yogis and yoginis. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this practice. May you all have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I look forward to seeing more of you in 2021.